Number 35, John Hammond Street in Accra. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Midday Live. My name is Noble Crosby-Ann. The bulletin is also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana, also on DSTV channel 279. In the bulletin this afternoon, founding member of the New Patriotic Party takes President Akufo-Addo to resign, describing his leadership style as an affront to democracy. In business news this afternoon, inflation declines to 38.1%, influenced by tight monetary policy measures by the Bank of Ghana. We'll hear from the government statistician. Plus, international news as hundreds of thousands of Israeli troops mass up on the Gaza border as war with Hamas continues. We have details of these stories, plus a lot more coming to you in the next 60 minutes if you stay with us. Let's begin this afternoon with this. A founding member of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, is requesting President Akufo-Addo to resign, describing his leadership style as an affront to the democracy fought for under the Fourth Republican Constitution. He was addressing the media in Accra.
I knew and I had numerous dialogues and demonstrations with. It's not the Akufo-Addo who is now president. What many Ghanaians may not remember is that Brigadier General Nunu Mensah was the campaign manager of President Akufo-Addo in the MPP's presidential primaries in 1998. And I was also a member of that team too. So, we know what we are talking about. As a young medical doctor in the Ghana Armed Forces, years ago, I experienced despicable disobedience within the ranks and tribal considerations by the leadership of the day in decision making. And these are again manifesting today. In my book that I wrote, Never Say Die, I catalog many experiences within the period, ultimately my imprisonment in Nsawam and Osha Fort Prison. Now look at how this country that we fought and toiled for to have this democracy restored is being destroyed through personal interest. To tell you plainly, if the corruption among the political class is not tackled, then we will be in trouble, and a very big trouble. As a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, I am worried over how leading figures in the ruling party's presidential primaries are now publicly confessing these acts of corruption with accusations of siphoning of public money and the coffers to resettle their families abroad, acquiring properties while the people of Ghana largely suffer and are deprived of basic needs. Ladies and gentlemen, recent abuse and arrest of demonstrators by the police only goes to attest to the fact that this government is doing all it can to clamp down on public sentiments because of their bad management of the economy by its appointees.
Well, my colleague Komla Kluche covered the event. He's joining us with some more update on the happenings at this presser. Komla, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time with us on the program. You've been at the press center. What more has been happening there?
So Dr. Nyaho has been speaking under 9 massive areas. Corruption, he went into history. He spoke also about the protests and the Bank of Ghana, the responsibility of public office, youth leadership, patriotism, the judiciary, the electoral commission, reforms, among others. But I mean, just a short while ago, we touched on what the corruption aspect is. Together, he's been speaking with Brigadier General Nunu Mensah, who one time was a minister under the NDC administration, was a minister responsible for national security. But let me just take the issue on what the youth leadership, patriotism, and the responsibility of public office owner, Dr. Nyahun Ntama is speaking about. And elsewhere in developed countries, public officers like him, whether elected or appointed, tend to adopt a more conscious posture of resignation within deep, when there is deep crisis. Let's give you few examples. You cited the example of Kwesi Kwarteng, who resided as a minister in the United Kingdom. Okay. He also touched on Shinzo Abe, who also left office when there was crisis. In fact, what Dr. Nyahun Ntama is saying is that if the president, speaking at the NPP headquarters, noting that, well, they need a new leader who will take the country from the current distress in which we find ourselves. The president has been able to prepare. What it means is that the president can no longer continue. In fact, his defendant is given up to a very large extent, and that he thinks that the president should step aside. Right. He went on to also talk about the electoral commission, where he said the position of the electoral commission leaves much to be designed, and says that where the electoral commission seems to be doing things on its own and does not even consider stakeholders, it's a dangerous thing to the democracy of the country. And says that they should be able to bring people on board. But where the country is now, the country lacks a leader who has focus. The country lacks a leader who has a vision, and thinks that the position of the president really calls for him to step aside for somebody else to take over.
Thank you so much for bringing us those updates from the press center. My colleague Komla Kluche is speaking with us. They will bring you details of the press conference by Dr. Nyahun Ntama and retired Brigadier General Nunu Mensah in subsequent bulletins. But in the meantime, customers of defunct Gold Coast Fund Management Company, they are continuing their picketing at the Finance Ministry to demand the payment of their locked-up investment. My colleague Judith Brown is at the ministry where the group spent the night.
Tensions are heightening right here in front of the Finance Ministry as some aggrieved customers of the Gold Coast Management Fund Company have begun day 2 of their picketing. Now, these people spent the entire night here at the Finance Ministry yesterday trying to get the Finance Ministry or the minister to attend to their needs. You can see them right now trying to push into the ministry, but they are being forced out. You can see them banging their placards towards the gates of the Finance Ministry. They want to be heard now and today. I'm here with the convener of the group, and I'm going to speak to him about what they really want to happen today.
No one is living there. We will sleep here today with them because they don't care. They have no sense of humanity. We slept here. We have spent 24 hours here. We don't have any leader in this country to come and say anything.
Yesterday they have not spoken to you?
Nobody. We will sleep here today with them.
Now that was a convener, Charles Nyame, telling us really what they're going to do here. They said they are going to sleep here with members of the Finance Ministry if they do not attend to them. We're going to be speaking to some of the other members to hear what their concerns are, really what they've been going through all this while. 4 good years, they've not had their monies paid them. Hello, madam. What's your name?
My name is Betha.
I want to know, how has this delay of payment affected you all these years?
5 years now. My husband died because of this money. He died. He was sick. There's no money. Even though we have...
Well, we'll be crossing over to my colleague Judith Awatri Brown shortly for some more reactions on the Gold Coast Fund Management picketing at the Finance Ministry. But in the meantime, the chairman of the Parliamentary Committee probing the leaked audio tape, Matachia, is speaking after the the second in-camera hearing of the committee. Let's cross over to Parliament
now. You are not with us, and we listen to the tape. Clinically, you listen to the tape yourself as a member of the committee, and then you said, which areas is there an evidential deficit? You deal with it. Which areas that you don't want to go any longer, you deal with it.
Is that to say that the media is not invited to tomorrow's sitting?
I don't believe that. I mean, it's something that you might want to be involved, because it's like the committee listening to the audios. And the audios are not anything that we can have from you. So if you want to listen to it privately, you can go and listen to it privately.
Thank you very much. So that's the witnesses.
So that was the chairman of the parliamentary committee probing the leaked tape purportedly plotting to oust the Inspector General of Police. Remind you that the chairman has come under some levels of criticism of accusations of bias, and that mainly is coming from the lawyers of the Inspector General of Police, particularly lawyer Kwame Jan. The chairman has sought to defend himself of those accusations leveled against him, saying that these proceedings are recorded and transcribed verbatim, that therefore there's no avenue or way for the chairman to express his levels of bias. Already, the originator of the tape at the center of the plot to oust the Inspector General of Police, Chief Bugri Nabo, is claiming that he has been vindicated after it emerged that some witnesses have amended their statements. We'll be crossing over to my colleague Duke Mensa Opoku for some more happenings on today's all-important meeting, as the public interest in the ongoing conversation at the ad hoc parliamentary committee is generating a lot of interest and controversy, particularly with the claims against the chair of the committee, as well as the testimonies of the other witnesses, that of COP Alex Mensah, for instance, still saying that he stands by everything he said at the committee hearing and the investigations that have been ongoing since. Also, the accusations against the committee that it is going beyond its terms of reference. That is something that the chair of the committee, Atachi, has sought to explain, that the committee is still very well within its rights to investigate some other happenings at the ad hoc parliamentary committee sitting. We'll be crossing over to my colleague Duke Mensa Opoku for some updates.
Members of the witnesses and their lawyers earlier on, the members of the committee just completed today's sitting. The chairman of the committee just left the confines of the office complex of the first deputy speaker, Joe Osei-Usu. This is where the meetings have actually been held, and they've just left. But earlier, just about an hour or so ago, the lawyers of the witnesses, COP George Alexander Asare, Superintendent JB Superintendent George Mensah, George Asare as well, all of them actually exited. Today, the committee did not have the benefit of the presence of the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare. He wasn't present at today's meeting, and of course, the chairman just told us that it's because of an issue of medical challenge, really, ill health. A number of issues have come up today at the meeting. Number one, today's meeting was primarily to seek out new and fresh evidence in relation to the issues that have been raised. We are told that only one party, only one witness brought out new evidence, that is in the person of COP George Alexander Asare. He filed a statement which is supposed to be new evidence, fresh evidence that is supposed to add to the work of the committee. Secondly, we are told that a witness statements for Superintendent JB and Superintendent Asare, some amendments were filed to their witness statements that they had earlier filed to the committee. Now, these amendments is a matter of interest for the originator of the tape, Chief Daniel Bugri Nabo, who says that these amendments is a vindication of what he told the committee, and that this meeting indeed took place, and he recorded them to be used as evidence to the president when he went to make a case or to tell the president about the plot to remove the IGP or to bring in a new IGP.
Well, that was Duke Mensah Opoku updating us on the happenings of the ad hoc committee probing the plot to oust the Inspector General of Police. Stay with us here on TV3 in the subsequent bulletins for a more detailed report. Also on any of our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana, plus on our website 3news.com. Let's go back to an earlier story where the customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management Company are continuing their picketing at the Ministry of Finance to demand the payment of their locked-up investment. My colleague Judith Brown is at the ministry where the group spent the night. She's joining us with some more updates. Judith, I beg your pardon, thank you so much for joining us on the program. What is the latest on the picketing there? We unfortunately are trying to connect with Judith Brown. When we reach her, we'll bring you that conversation. And as you can see on your screen, some of the customers of the defunct company lamenting, crying, wallowing over their locked up funds, claiming that they are unable to take care of themselves. I understand Judith Brown has joined us at the moment. Judith, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Right, I can hear you, President.
Great. Talk to us about the happenings there on day 2 of their picketing.
Right, and so you can see behind me that some of these aggrieved customers have seated now. They're a bit calm. Earlier, you saw that they were banging at the gates of the Finance Ministry. A few moments ago, the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Amin Adams, met with the leaders of the group. Now, he says that he's asking them to call off their protest for now, so that they can meet with them by tomorrow. And so we are waiting to see what really would be the outcome of that meeting tomorrow. But speaking to the leaders, that is the convener of the group, Charles Shami, he says that they would either, they would call off this protest based on some conditions. And that is that if tomorrow they are not able to meet with the ministry, or the ministry does not really meet with them, they would come back and protest. And if they meet with them as well, and the outcome is not what they expect, they would also come back and protest. So that is really the update currently here at the ministry. The convener, as well as some leaders of the group, are meeting with the police to discuss with them that these are the conditions that they would give in case that the ministry wants to meet with them. And so we're yet to see what really would be the outcome tomorrow after the meeting. In case that doesn't work out well, of course, they would be here again picketing at the Ministry of Finance. Crosby.
So we understand that the convener, Charles Nyame, earlier noted that he would not, or the group would not allow anyone out of the Finance Ministry if they are not attended to. And since the Chief Director of the Ministry has met them, clearly it appears that that desire of the convener will not come into fruition, will it?
Right, Crosby, clearly that desire will not come to function because they would be suspending their protest for now, pending the meeting tomorrow. And so in case that meeting goes well, we're sure that these people would not come here and protest or, picket at the Ministry of Finance. But I can see them walking out of the ministry currently. They told us that they were going to meet with the police and discuss with them their conditionalities for stopping the protest or ending this protest right now. So we are waiting to see really if that meeting would happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen, then we know that tomorrow these aggrieved customers would come right back to the Ministry of Finance and picket and demand what is due them. Crosby.
Judith, thank you so much for joining us. Judith Brown is my colleague, updating us on the picketing by customers of defunct gold dealership company there in relation to their locked up funds. And we understand that currently the protest is expected to be called off pending a meeting with officials of the Finance Ministry. To some other subjects this afternoon, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed an affidavit in opposition to counter the application to abridge the time filed by former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapaah regarding the seizure and freezing of the account. A prosecutor with the OSP, Esther Tete, urged the High Court to dismiss Cecilia Dapaah's request for an earlier hearing of her case. My colleague Lord Edwasare is following the development in court, joining us with some more updates. Lord, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. What more do we know about the latest application by the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
All right, so today in court, lawyers for the Special Prosecutor led by Victoria Bass, they come context in the background as to why the application for the abridgment of time came a bit late. Now, they noted that due to the voluminous nature of the application by the Special Prosecutor, as well as the Judges and Magistrates Conference, and again, the legal vacation, it all culminated into the delay. And so they only had a brief period to be able to file the application, which was on the 9th of October. Now, in their argument, they noted that even before they could go ahead to make their case, yesterday the Special Prosecutor filed an application in opposition to the abridgment of time application that they had filed. And they felt that it was not prudent, seeing that the Special Prosecutor had ample time to be able to file this application, that they waited until yesterday, 2:45 p.m. to make this service. And they also noted that the reason they wanted the case to be heard earlier was there was no new release being sought by the Special Prosecutor. They tagged or labeled the application by the Special Prosecutor as repetitive, and so they wanted the case to be heard earlier, citing the fact that it was causing discomfort and harassment for the former Sanitation Minister. Now, reacting to this argument by the reacting to this development by the lawyers for Madam Cecilia Dapa's Special Prosecutor lawyer Esther Tete noted that yes, they were in opposition to the abridgment of time application being made by Cecilia Dapa, and that the relief that they are seeking are not in any case the same, since these developments are not from October, but from 1st September. They made additional discoveries, and that's why they filed those applications for them.
Lord Edwasare, thank you so much. Lord Edwasare is our court correspondent, bringing us update on the latest application filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Let's still show you some more of the happenings between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and Cecilia Dapa. Now, in July 2023, the OSP started investigating Cecilia Dapa, and the searches at Cecilia Dapa's residence after that freezes her account and seizes $580,000 and 2.8 million cedis. The High Court orders the OSP to release the seized money and then freeze Cecilia Dapa's account. OSP adheres to the court's directive, releases the money and then freezes the account, but then issues fresh orders to seize the money and freeze the account again. In September 2023, fresh request made at the High Court for freezing order to be confirmed, and Cecilia Dapa opposing this latest request from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The OSP goes ahead to charge Cecilia Dapa with offence of failing to comply with a lawful demand of an authorized officer. That is the charge from the Office of the Special Prosecutor against Cecilia Dapa. So these are the timelines with regards to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and Cecilia Dapa's stolen cash saga. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. There's more on this, but we'll bring it to you after this break, plus some other stories. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Hello, my name is Dede, and as you already know, when it comes to quality phones and accessories, but yet affordable, it's Franco Trading Enterprise. We are number one. We have television set from 24 inches to 65 inches, Franco air condition from 1.5 horsepower to 2.5 horsepower. We have mobile phones, iPhones, Nokia, Samsung, Huawei, Infinix, Alcatel, and accessories like phone protectors, phone covers, pen drive, hard drives. We have skilled personnel who will serve you as you wish. So look no further than Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise, the home of quality air condition, television, mobile phones, and accessories.
Our mission here at TV3 is that the news comes first, and that's the promise of News Central.
With reporters every corner of the country.
Consignment to attend their action.
To production, building lions.
And experts across the subjects that affects you the most.
We stay across the big stories that impact you the most as they break, develop and evolve into major national issues.
With all angles covered across the country and across every subject. I am Kemini Amano.
And I am Eric Mawina Egbeta.
News Central, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
This is Hot Issues, your passport to the most compelling conversations of our time. We go one-on-one with the movers and shakers, the thought leaders, and the game changers. We ask the questions that matter, and we don't back down.
Tonight on Hot Issues, I sit with the man at the Center of Corruption Investigations.
Join me on Hot Issues here on TV3.
Hot Issues, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
They say home is where
Eliza, are you sleeping on the job, girlfriend?
I was dreaming. I woke up to this nightmare.
Alyssa, an 18-year-old, runs away from home to escape the abuse and harassment of her stepfather.
Come any closer and I will cut you.
For a hope of a better life in the city and to pursue her dream of becoming a supermodel.
Hold on, wait a second. You're very pretty.
She soon finds out that achieving her dream will be a lot harder than she ever imagined. She gets caught up in a web of two men after her heart, a street vendor who believes in her dream and another who's making her dream happen.
You must be the famous Carolina Castillo.
How are you, dear? This is Lily, my beloved wife.
Watch the story unfold in Total Dreamer, a captivating, intriguing, and thrilling drama. Total Dreamer, showing Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by
MTN DES Shower Gel.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars for the most spectacular event of the year. On Saturday, October 14, the Aviation Social Center transforms into a food lover's paradise as we proudly present the TV3 Schools Connect, Food Bazaar, and Kitchen Wars Grand Finale. It's not just a food festival, it's a party too. Which senior high school wins the basketball and five-a-side soccer tournament is a showdown like no other. And for all you nostalgia seekers, we've got the sweet sounds of old school music to transport you back in time. And now the big one, the grand finale of Kitchen Wars. Watch as the final four schools battle it out for culinary supremacy. Who will be crowned the champion of the kitchen? TV3 Schools Connect on Saturday, October 14 is the ultimate fusion of food, music, sports, and entertainment. So save the date, tell your friends, and get ready to savor the flavors. TV3 Schools Connect and Kitchen Wars Grand Finale, where food meets fun. Kitchen Wars, your school fit cook. The TV3 Schools Connect is sponsored by Gino, PGL, and Napa Foods.
Come back to the program. This is still Midday Live on TV3, also on DSTV channel 279 plus on our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. We'll be taking you to the Ashanti region pretty shortly, but let's tell you that the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI in the United States of America, have initiated concurrent inquiries into the activities of Cecilia Dapaah, the former Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, and her associates. Now, these investigations primarily focus on examining their assets and financial transactions within the United States of America. This collaborative effort is to ascertain the lawfulness of Ms. Dapaah and her associates' wealth, both in the context of their funds transitioning from Ghana to the United States and vice versa. So the latest is that the OSP is working now with the FBI to investigate the former Sanitation Minister, Cecilia Abena Dapaah. Details of that in the subsequent bulletins, also on 3news.com. But to the Ashanti region now, where some traders in Kumasi have criticized the current government over its inability to complete major projects in the Ashanti region. The aggrieved traders cited the halt of work on the second phase of the Keyetia market, the Komfo Teaching Hospital, maternity and child units, and the Kumasi International Airport, among many other projects. Ibrahim Abubakar monitored the media engagement, and he's joining us. Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. The second phase of the Keyetia market, as well as the other projects. Tell us, what percentage of completion are these projects?
Well, Crosby, when you look at the second phase of the Keyetia project, currently it is around 65% to 70% complete. But since the beginning of the year, that's from January, we've not seen any work on that project till date. And for most of these traders who decided to evacuate the place and move to race course, where they continuously complained that it is not conducive for trading activity. They were hoping that by 2024, that's June 2024, the project will be ready for them to come and occupy. But like I said, from January till date, work has not, no work has been done on it, meaning it is likely going to affect the completion date. Maybe we are looking at 2025. Then we look at the Kumasi Airport, which is around 80% complete. Also, from January till date, no work has been done there, and it's been left there. Then we also look at the CAT MBU, and this is a huge project that will enhance maternal and child care delivery when completed at the Komfo Teaching Hospital. The project has also been left to its fate. Then we have several other projects, the Buankra Inland, and also even the Swami Interchange that was recently, sword was recently cut to begin with. You go there and you find nothing ongoing. So for these traders, it is not just enough for government to cut sword for projects. All that they are looking at is for the completion of the project. And over the years, they have complained and complained and complained. It seems government is not giving them any hearing. And we all know that this is the stronghold of the ruling New Patriotic Party. And for the traders to come out in their numbers to threaten the government to complete all these projects before 2024 speaks volume. So they have given the government up to November 4 to see contractors back to these project sites, or they will have to forget the 2024 election. Nana Asare Bebiako has been addressing the media.
Businesses, capital, and wind down at homes with various ailments. If the phase 2 of the project can come to the abrupt stop, what is the hope for this phase 3 of this project? To see the light of day, so to bring relief to petty traders who find themselves at the mercies, the harsh weather, and extortion from people. Why is it that if about Asante region, major projects, this lackadaisical approach is attached to it? We have been quiet for too long time to speak. is now. If all projects will come to a halt, then we will be convinced things are bad for government. But if it is pick and choose which projects get halted, and almost all in Ashanti region, then we believe there is a conspiracy against us in Ashanti region. Let no one tell us, oh, the project has been started. We have been neglected for far too long. We need personalities who can speak for Ashanti interests, not personal interests, or any other interest. That is what we seek for.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for those updates. To join you again in our subsequent bulletins from Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti regional correspondent there. Back in the capital, where the one-week observation of the late former First Lady Theresa Kufuor is taking place at the private residence of former President J. Kufuor at Peduase in the Eastern region. The wife of the former president died on October 1. President Kufuor, some ministers of state and independent presidential aspirant Alan Tremonte, family and friends among the personalities present at the ceremony.
The former First Lady, Madam Theresa Kufuor, and I must say that it's been a colorful celebration here, or an observation here, because we've had lots and lots of dignitaries here. First of all, we had the former president, we had the president of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo here. We also had the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, also passing through. Former Speaker of Parliament, Michael Kwe. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei Wusu. The Chief of Staff, Frema Opare Osei. And former minister and current ministers are also here. Lots and lots of MPs and former MPs are also here. We have lots and lots of traditional rulers as well. And so this ceremony has been a very peaceful one. And of course, we having a former minister for roads and highways here, Dr. Richard Anane and Howard. Dr. Richard Anane, you welcome your live on TV3 Media. So what can you say about the former First Lady and Theresa Kufuor?
I can only say things that not many people want to have said. This is a woman, first a mother, but while she's a mother to us, she's a mother also to the entire country. Mrs. Kufuor does not, and under any circumstance, does not think about people who are X or Y. She sees everybody as a child, and she does everything for whatever must be done for them. Mrs. Kufuor teaches us something, and that is humility. And that all the things that Mrs. Kufuor does with us, one of the first things that you come to understand is humility. You must appreciate what is humility. You must appreciate what is serving the people. You must appreciate what we do must come to, and that is serving the people. And that's what she's always, whatever and whenever we interact with her, she teaches us to appreciate. And therefore, at a point in time, you may even want to appreciate. So then, if it is about all of us only going to the people and doing what must be done for the people, then what else? But that's what she teaches us to do.
Thank you very much.
It's not the best, but that's okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richard Anane. He is a former minister. And we also have an economist here, Dr. Samuel Ofori. Please, what can you say about Madam Theresa Kufuor? Did you know her that personally?
Actually, when it comes to President Kufuor, I know the entire family. And it's through a prophetic encounter, because they were running for the second elections, 28th December. And the Lord asked me to go and anoint him because he had appointed him to be the next president of Ghana. So I actually visited the family before the elections and autographed a book for former President Kufuor and wrote in it, President of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, before the elections took place. And then we anointed him. So that is the connection. And I used to visit them frequently. And when Mama was sick, I visited a number of times to pray with her and share the gospel with her. So that's the interaction. Very humble woman, very wonderful woman, God-fearing woman.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And we also have an independent candidate here, Mr. Jacob Osei-Yeboah. Please, how do you know Madame Teresa Kufuor?
She's a mother, okay, and I'm a friend to the children, and definitely she is a mother to all of us. We call her Mama. In fact, the kind of life that all of us witnessed as a nation when she was First Lady. You can say that she's the only First Lady that Ghanaians didn't have much to say about her. Indeed, she was an exemplary First Lady to all of us. We'll miss her. She's the type that will always ensure that she corrects you rather than reprimanding you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you heard them, and so we are still at the residence of the former president, and the observation is still ongoing because it's going to be a day-long celebration. And so, first of all, before then, we had the Metropolitan Archbishop of Koforidua who held the mass earlier, and then that is the occasion here. So, from the residency of the former president, this is the live coverage that we've been giving you, and the celebration is going to continue till the end of the day. Evelyn Tenkma, TV3 News.
Development. Away from that, spilling of excess water from the Akosombo Dam by the Volta River Authority is causing severe havoc in Mepe in the North Tong district of the Volta region. Scores of houses in the community are being flooded, leaving many residents displaced. Some have resorted to the use of canoes as their mode of transportation. The flooding has also led to the destruction of property running into thousands of cedis. Affected residents have been counting their losses. In September this year, the Volta River Authority initiated a controlled discharge at the Akosombo and Kpong dams. Now, this decision was due to the continuous increase in the lake level caused by substantial inflows. It's now time for some business news. Manuaf will bring us the details after this. Let's join Manuaf for some business news. Now, Manu, what's in the package this afternoon?
Well, there's some good news. Inflation has gone down by some percentage points. We have the details in our bulletin coming up. Thank you so much. Welcome to the business segment here on Midday Live. My name is Minuafo. Now, inflation for the month of September has declined to 38.1% from the 40.1% recorded in August 2023. According to figures from the Ghana Statistical Service, both food and non-food inflation also dropped marginally. Now, addressing the media, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim attributed the decline to tight monetary policy measures by the Bank of Ghana.
Of September 2023, annual rate of inflation stood at 38.1%, indicating a 2.0 percentage slowdown in the rate of inflation. Despite the slowdown in the rate of inflation, prices of goods and services in Ghana continue to increase, as relative to September 2022, prices of goods and services overall have gone up by 38.1% between September 2022 and September 2023. Disaggregating this from a food and non-food inflation perspective, food and non-food inflation recorded a disparity in excess of 20 percentage points, specifically with food inflation recording a rate of 49.4% relative to non-food inflation 29.3%. The reason why we put in tight monetary policies is to ensure that we keep inflation rates close to the target that we all have set as a country. And from the presentations that we've been doing, one can only hypothetically say that it's possible that this is what is driving it. For instance, in the month of September 2023, we continue to see a sharper decline in the prices, in the inflation rate of imported items. So relating that to our exchange rate, relating that to other macroeconomic variables, one can hypothetically say that tightening of the monetary policy is what is contributing to it.
Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund has lowered Ghana's average inflation forecast for 2023 to 42.2% from the earlier 45.4%. It is also forecasting an end-of-year inflation of 31.3%. According to its 2023 World Economic Outlook, this will, however, be among the highest in sub-Saharan Africa. We'll bring you the details of that story later. Now, we'll stay a while on the IMF because the Bretton Woods institution has once again adjusted Ghana's growth rate projection for 2023, lowering it to 1.2% from the initial July forecast of 1.6%. This marks the second revision of Ghana's gross domestic product growth estimate within the year. The following three Business Desk reports has the details. In April 2023, the International Monetary Fund forecasted a 2.8% growth rate for Ghana in its World Economic Outlook report. However, the World Bank slightly revised down their growth rate projection for Ghana to 1.5% in their October 2023 Africa Pulse report, citing fiscal challenges such as high debt and budget deficits leading to reduced government spending on infrastructure and investments as major reasons. Looking ahead to 2024, the IMF predicted a 2.7% expansion of the Ghanaian economy, significantly lower than the pre-pandemic average of 5%. Meanwhile, the global economy continued its slow recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and the cost of living crisis. The report acknowledged the resilience despite challenges, noting that the global economy had slowed but not stalled. However, growth remained slow and uneven, with emerging global divergences. The projected global growth rates were revised slightly downward from 3.5% in 2022 to 3% for the current year and 2.9% for the following year, reflecting a 0.1 percentage point downgrade for 2024 compared to previous projections and remaining below historical averages. But still on the economy, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Echiahene is urging Ghana to boost its economy amidst the current crisis by elevating the country's gold revenue to 50%. He points to Botswana as a model for Ghana to follow in order to achieve this increase. Dr. Echiahene made these remarks during the Ghana Economic Forum held in Accra.
My short solution, go and read what happened to Botswana beginning of the year. De Beers, the De Beers Anglo-American, which has been doing diamond businesses in Botswana for a very long time. The Botswana sat down and said, hey, the 10% you're giving us, it is no business. If you don't scale it up, please, you can leave and take your money, we'll keep our gold. And for your information, De Beers has now accepted it. From 2023, they moved from 30% up to 50% in the years ahead. If you get 30% of the gold that the minister said, it would have given us nearly $2 billion. What happened to it? We signed a whole lot of agreement as if tomorrow is not going to come. Those of you in position, let me tell you, the generation after me and my generation will one day get up and ask this question. We better look at it.
And that's how we wrap up the business segment on Midday Live. My name is Minu Afo. Stay with us for more news from the world of sports.
Let's join Oreku for some sports news. Oreku, what's in the package this afternoon?
Well, it's Black Stars Time International window. The team are getting ready for the friendlies against the USA and Mexico.
Bring us the details in sports.
And so we'll be heading straight to the United States of America, where the Black Stars held their first training session ahead of their friendly game against Mexico, which is slated for Tuesday, October. They had a training on Tuesday, October 10th. Now Ghana face the 2023 Gold Cup champions on October 14th as one of the two friendly games for the international break. 19 players were involved in the first training session in Charlotte, with 3 more players expected to be involved in the subsequent sessions before the game. Tariq Lamptey, Daniel Amate, Alexander Jiku and Osman Bukari won't be available for the upcoming friendlies against Mexico and the USA due to injuries. Kingsley Schindler, Jerome Opoku and Stefan Ambrosius have been selected as replacements. Let's do some more news. Birmingham City have appointed Wayne Rooney as their new manager. The 37-year-old former England captain has joined the Championship club on a 3.5-year deal. The ex-Everton and Manchester United striker's appointment is the first managerial change made by the Blues' new American owners, Shelby Companies Limited, since they took over in July. To some more news, where Harry Maguire says Eric Ten Hag praised him for the performance in his first start of the Premier League this season. As Manchester United
It's been a difficult start of the season at this club. The pressure piles on him. It was really important with the break coming up, and we know how important the result is before the international break, and how we can bring the feeling towards the club. It was really important that we got the win. I know we left it a little bit late, but yeah, it was really important for us as a group of players to get that victory.
Well, Lionel Messi trained normally on Tuesday in Argentina's first normal practice and is expected to start against Paraguay. The 36-year-old has not had much activity in the past month due to the scar from an old hamstring injury that does not allow him to be in physical fitness. His last almost complete game was the 1-0 victory against Ecuador at the start of the qualifying rounds of September 7. He subsequently did not play in the victory. That's the 3-0 win against Bolivia, and sat out 5 Inter-Miami games, although he played the second half of Saturday's loss to Cincinnati. Well, that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on Midday Live. My name is Oreku Ampo, and up next on the bulletin is entertainment with Noella.
Well, after Musica's election that has seen a winner emerge, it appears some conversations have already begun. Noella Donko has all the details in entertainment. Over to you, Noella.
Thank you so much, Crosby. Let's get into some entertainment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Now, Musica's president-elect, Buster Simons, has called on the rank and file of the union to unite and work hard to build a vibrant Musica. The Belimbe hitmaker polled 324 votes to beat Raskela Bapia-Levi, who managed 66 votes at the union's elections held on Tuesday.
We've been through a lot. Anytime we get ready, something happens. But for now, I would like to thank everybody who has played a role in making this a success. True Musica members stood between thick and thin to make this happen. This is the time for us to unite and come together and make this industry work. I'm going to put a solid team together. I'm going to sit down with my executives, and then we're going to see how best we can all work together. So anybody that has to come on board, anybody who has good ideas can come forward with the ideas, and we're going to make sure it works. This is not the time to be confrontational.
Congratulations going out to Bessa Simons. But reacting to the outcome of the election, Bessa's contender, Ras Caleb Appiah-Levi, wished the newly elected musical president the best of luck, but made it clear that he cannot work with Bessa's administration. Ras Caleb also alleged that some delegates collected his money but failed to honor their promise to vote for him.
Ras Caleb Appiah-Levi also pulled some 66 votes and you came second. Mr. Simons had 324 votes. We want to find out how you received the news.
If they vote for him, who never washed their feet, it's up to them. I am in Accra here. I have Pan-Africa Ghana, Prodigy International Production Association, and they are all dealing with musicians. So I wish Bessa Simons a healthy rulership and waiting in 4 years' time. But I will still be a carpet member of Musica. I don't want any status as...
No, I was going to ask that, will you be ready to serve in any capacity in his administration?
Official?
Yeah.
No, I would have done it in a boss administration. I'm not going to waste my time in a union that doesn't want to grow. I love Musica, but not this one. Okay? So
is it because you did not win this election?
Not because I didn't win, but because of the rot. And also, the people who vote against me, they should wallow in their poverty.
Oh, that's a harsh one.
Yes, because it is. When you go everywhere, they want to. And look here, those who took monies from me.
So you give out some money?
Yeah, they asked for it. I didn't go flash it out.
That's illegal. That's not proper.
That's not proper. I didn't say, oh, get this money to vote for me. They requested. Even today when we were here, one region called that they want to get some money for those who are coming from a place to give them. I sent them here through Momo.
Interesting comment there, but still on the outcome of the Musica elections. Meanwhile, the director of special events and communications at Musica, Ihuma Bosco Kante, has expressed regret about the poster of Ras Caleb Appiah-Levi at this critical time when the union's members are being encouraged to work as a team to build a great Musica. Daddy Bosco, as he is affectionately called, advised Ras Caleb to transit from his combatant posture and position himself as a statesman to help build Musica.
Well, I'll say that's pretty unfortunate because I thought Ras will transit from his combatant role to a statesmanship. I was having a word with him earlier and I was advising him that, Ras, after all you've done over the past 4 years, it's time to position yourself as a statesman for the industry, where you're working for the unity and development of a union. But look, everybody has their right to take their own decision. I wish him all the best in all his future endeavors. Like I told you, we're going to make Musica great again. Mark my words.
Exclusives from the Musica elections that were held yesterday. That's it for entertainment here on Midday Live. My name is Nwela Donko. International news is up next.
In international news this afternoon, the Israeli military says hundreds of thousands of troops are near the Gaza border ready to execute the mission we've been giving. Israel is expected to launch a ground offensive on the Gaza Strip soon. It says the mission is to make sure Hamas won't have any military capabilities. The death toll in Israel has reached 1,200, while more than 900 people have been killed by Israeli air strikes on Gaza. That's how we wrap up on Midday Live this afternoon. But as always, more news on our website, 3news.com. My name is Noble Cross-Viano. Of the Type Production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. See you again some other time. Good afternoon to you. Bye-bye.